How's everybody doing tonight? I'm having a pretty good day myself. Got home from work today. I finished this puzzle I've been working on. I was excited. This puzzle's had 3 to 5 years in the box. Only took me 2 weeks. Just tell you guys a little bit about me. Back in the 80s, my dad was part of this rock band, right? This rock band came to Duluth. They did a show. They left. Came back about 6 months later, and my dad gets off the stage at the end of the night, and this woman comes up to him. You know, she's kind of got one of these going on. And that was me. Because of that, I've always kind of wondered, like, is my dad my dad? And this was the year I decided I was going to do something about it. Has anybody ever heard of 23andMe? Couple people? All right, for those of you who haven't, 23andMe, it's this DNA test that tells you everything about your DNA. And I did it, and my dad did it, and now we're waiting on the results. And there's a part of me that thinks maybe this was a bad idea. Like, in my head, I see it turning into like a do-it-yourself version of Jerry Springer. Like, I see my brother with this envelope, like, all right, Bruce, when it comes to Alex, you are not the father! My dad's gonna be like, yeah! My mom's gonna be like, oh my God! I'm gonna be sitting there like, really, guys, on my birthday? The commercial for that 23andMe was a little weird. I was watching that when I wrote this joke. What it is this woman going around the world doing the different things to make up her DNA. Like, it says she's part French, so it shows her like looking at the Eiffel Tower. And it says she's part Chinese, so she's like eating some noodles in China. And then it says she's part German, and this is the part that I thought was weird, because it said she's part German, and then it just showed her standing in front of a big oven. When I was a kid, I didn't know a lot about girls. The only thing I really knew about girls was that girls didn't have wieners. Which made me wonder, how do girls pee without wieners, right? So I asked my dad, and you know, like my dad, he's talking to a little kid, he just makes some shit up on the fly. He's like, girls pee out of their butts. And I believed him. He's my dad, why wouldn't I, right? Here's the issue. I believed that a lot longer than I should have. Honestly, I believed that until I got into the 7th grade. And you might be thinking to yourself, like, how is that possible? But like, you gotta understand, like, I'm old enough where I grew up pretty much without the internet, you know? For me, it was dial-up. When you're trying to watch porn, you know, that screen's just loaded line by line. By the time it finally got to a boob, you'd already busted a nut and you were back outside playing football with your friends. Which was great, because at that point you weren't dropping any passes because your hands were nice and sticky. Something that I can't seem to understand is that people don't like me, and I don't get it. Like, my neighbor hates me. My neighbor hates me. The neighbor put out a sign the other day that said, lost cat, $200 reward. When I brought the cat back, he refused to pay me. Wouldn't pay me the reward. Like I was the one that ran the cat over. The thing that really started the beef between me and my neighbor was, my neighbor saw me when I was jerking off. Which I'm maintaining wasn't my fault. Because if he doesn't want to see me when I'm jerking off, he should probably put the blinds down when he takes a shower. Right? Common sense. Women don't like me. Women didn't even like me when I was a stripper, which is saying something. No, I'm not even kidding. I was a stripper once. It was years ago. I was awful. I was terrible. Like, I didn't really know what to do, you know? Like, this was before Magic Mike came out, and I didn't have a clue. So all I kind of do is, like, I'm standing there naked, and there's this room full of women, and I was just kind of, like, dancing around a little bit, you know? And then I'd stop at each woman, and I would just kind of, like, grind my ass on them for way longer than was comfortable. And that was it. I had one more move. A friend told me I had to do this. What I was supposed to do is I was supposed to sit in a chair, right? And I was supposed to take a shot glass and put it between my thighs. Then I take my dick and put it over the shot glass. The bride-to-be takes the shot without using her hands. Which sounds hot, right? Here was the issue. It was cold in that bar. instead of gloriously flopping my dick over the shot glass, I was barely reaching the rim. My dick reminded me of like when you see a cat like trying to dig into a fish tank. Yeah, that was the end of my stripping career. But women don't like me, and I consider myself a feminist. I'm a firm believer in equality between men and women. Here's an example. There's a woman that I work with who every weekend she goes out and sleeps with a new guy. Every weekend. And when she comes back to work on Monday, she talks to the other women. They're like, good for you. You're empowering yourself. You're taking back your sexuality. And when I go out and do the exact same thing, you know what those women say? They tell me I'm gay. My old lady doesn't like me, which sucks. Let me ask, are you guys on a date? You two? Date? No. Couple? No. You don't know each other? You just ended up on the same table? We're friends. Friends? That's what he says. She's like, oh. Yeah, my old lady, like she gets on my ass about everything, constantly, everything I do. Like she hates that I play video games, which I don't think is fair. You know, I don't get mad when she goes out and gets drunk with her friends or spends a bunch of money getting her nails done or goes over to that guy's house for those private yoga lessons. But I say one time that yes, I'd rather play Xbox than go to your mom's funeral, and apparently I'm the bad guy. She got mad at me the other day. She actually caught me jerking off. And she got pissed, which I had two things to say about that. Number one, I didn't think that was fair because I know she masturbates. Honestly, she goes through so many batteries for her vibrator. I'm surprised I haven't got a thank you letter from the Energizer Bunny. And the second thing I had to say is, you know what? Who cares, right? I was enjoying a little bit of me time. I'm getting to know myself, right? No, she loses it. She gets pissed. She's screaming at me. Like I wasn't really listening, but she's like, blah, 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 blah. We're in the library, blah, blah, blah. Like I said, I don't get it because I think myself as a nice guy, you know? Like I volunteer. I volunteer at a nursing home. I work with this old lady. She's great. She's a little bit deaf, and she can't walk. And her being deaf sometimes makes things a little bit awkward. Like the first night I met her, I'm talking to her, and I asked her, I said, how long have you been bedridden? I asked this old lady, how long have you been bedridden? She looks at me really weird, and she's like, I haven't been ridden since my husband died. There was another time she and I are playing checkers. The nurse comes in, puts a stethoscope against her ribs, and says, deep breaths. This old lady looks at her and looks down and goes, they used to be, they're pretty flat now. Yeah, I'm a nice guy. Like I said, you know. I'm a feminist, you know. I want equality between men and women. Here's another example. Miley Cyrus puts out a music video where she's dancing around naked, licking a sledgehammer. Everybody's like, it's progressive, it's edgy, good for you. You know what happens when I do the exact same thing? I got banned from Home Depot for life. I don't get it. Here's another example. Here's another reason I'm a nice guy. I'd never forget people's birthday cards. Right? That's important. I was at the dollar store the other day looking for a birthday card, and I saw they now have a family planning section at the dollar store. I couldn't believe this. Like, there were 3 products in their family planning section. The first one was their whatever their brand, Value Dollar brand, condoms. Once when I was younger, I went there and I bought a spatula. And I went home and I was halfway through the first pancake and that fucker snapped. Like, if that's the level of quality for the Value Dollar, I don't think I want to trust their condoms. The second product they had in their family planning section was a pregnancy test. And I mean, I'm not a woman, but if I'm going to buy a pregnancy test, like, I think they should have pregnancy spelled right on the box. The third product they had in their family planning section, and I keep saying family planning section, because they actually had a sign that said family planning section. Like, this blew me away. Like, maybe it's just me, but if you're shopping at the dollar store because Walmart is out of your budget, maybe a baby's not for you right now. But no, they've got a sign that says family planning section. Like, I feel like there should be another sign underneath it that just says, for the love of God, pull out. But they don't. They have the family planning section, there's 3 products. It's the condoms, the pregnancy test, and the third product is a coat hanger. Yeah, I don't know. I always find myself in these weird situations. Even when I was a kid. Even as a kid, like I'd find myself in awkward situations. Once when I was about 13, my mom took me to the doctor. And we're in the doctor, and she looks at me, she says, Alex, I need to check you for a hernia. Can you jump off the table and pull on your pants? So I do, you know. I pull on my pants, and this doctor, she takes one hand, she cups my balls. And as she's going to push on my stomach with her other hand, her thumb, just barely, grazed the head of my dick. And I jizzed all over her. I'm not even kidding. I covered that doctor chin to chest. Like, she's in shock. Like, I know doctors get a lot of training during medical school, but I don't think there's a class called Getting Jizzed On and What to Do About It 101. You know what I mean? Me, I'm mortified. I'm 13 years old, and I just jizzed on a doctor. In front of my mom. Right? Like, my only thought in this moment is there's no way it can get worse. Like, this is the worst it could possibly be. That's when my mom decides she has something to say. Like, I'm staring at this doctor, she's staring at me, and my mom's like, well, you got the Myers family stamina. I don't know, I don't care about that stuff anymore. Honestly, all I like to do nowadays is just spend time with my kids. I have 3 kids. I think I may be the most fertile man on the planet. I'm not even kidding. Like, I don't even know this lady. She's probably pregnant right now. I'll tell you why I say that. My first kid, I was wearing a condom. She was on birth control. There was a DNA test done. That's my kid. My second kid, I was with that kid's mom at the doctor when the doctor told her, you'll never conceive a child in your life. She missed her next period. My third kid, I still can't figure out how I got that guy pregnant. The weirdest part was when I got done, he turns around, he looks at me, he's like, you've got the Myers family stamina. Thanks a lot, guys. My name is Alex Myers. Thanks for coming out.